Happy Monday. I just got back from a very, very quick turnaround trip to Miami last week, where I got to meet with a group of really, when I say really incredible entrepreneurs, I'm talking business owners who are in their 60s and 70s and have successfully created and sold 15 plus companies and other things like that. It's a very different crowd than a lot of the networking events that I typically talk about. So I'm excited to share about that soon. The reason I'm coming in here today looking like this is because on Friday, on my way back to Tulsa, I got news that a finalized version or an updated version of a new law that's coming out, or a mandate that's coming out, was released, and I spent all weekend researching that for all of us, because this will affect any person that has and honestly, I'm very shocked that I'm not hearing more people talk about this, because if you were a business owner in 2018, if you remember, on my birthday in 2018, the GDPR came out and we all had a massive collective panic attack about that. This new law that's coming out that goes into effect on January 1 is going to impact LLCs and corporations in the United States, or foreign LLCs or corporations operating in the United States. Generally speaking, it will impact all of us. There are a few exceptions to this. If you have more than 20 full-time employees, or if you've reported more than $5 million gross revenue, those are just minor exceptions. It's going to impact, again, almost every single one of us that are watching this. With that being said, this is not something that I want us to panic about, but truly not something I want us to panic about, because I read through the entire thing several times all weekend, and it's not actually that complicated. But it is something that we will absolutely have to comply with, because this is an anti-money laundering law at its core. So this isn't something where we talk about, which is true, the FTC does regulate whether or not you have a privacy policy on your website, and they can fine you if you don't have a privacy policy. This is the same but more extreme in terms of you have to file, you actually have to take the step to file a report. If you're an existing business owner now, you have to file a report by the end of 2024. If you form a business on or after January 1, 2024, you have to file it within 90 days. And this is similar to filing an EIN paperwork, but more intense. You actually have to submit this paperwork. And when I use, when I use privacy policies as an example, I say that because we're all complying with that preemptively, hoping that we won't get caught without a privacy policy and the FTC won't get mad at us, right? This is different. This is something that we are required to be proactive about. They've gone so far as to say that if you're more than 90 days delinquent in filing it, then it can be a $500 a day fine. It can up to 10 grand. And then there are even cases that they have already contemplated where it could result in 2 years of jail time. So we're not joking around with this one at all. So a couple things with this. One, if you are thinking about starting a company, I would go ahead and do it before January. Check with your accountant on that from a tax perspective, but I'm filing all of the companies I want to file next year right now, just so that I have that calendar year to comply with it. And then the second thing that I want you to do with this, is I want you to check with whoever, I want you to check with your accounting team no matter what about this, but I want you to check with whoever helped you form your LLC in the first place. I won't get into all of the details behind that right now. If I helped you form your LLC, you're going to get an email, so you don't need to send me a message, because I'm going to get a whole lot of messages about this, and we're drowning in correspondence right now. But if you have more questions about this, and if you would like to receive the same updates that I'm currently providing for my clients, then I'll put a question box here. You can give me your email address in the question box, and I'll go ahead and add you to the list that I am forming as I'm compiling all of this information. Last note, regarding what I said on that last slide, it's frustrating because this does only impact small businesses, and so it does feel unfair that we're not
I won't get on a rant about it, but it is really frustrating because this literally, the design of this law is so that it only impacts small businesses, and then the government's not going to just knock on your door and say, hey, here's a guidebook on how to be legally compliant. So this is something that I've known about I've been watching for a year. Trademark attorneys have known about for a year, because we don't have clarification on the difference between, we have to report DBAs and trade names, but they haven't clarified what that means in regards to trademarks. So I've been watching this really closely, and what came out Friday just kind of muddied the water a little bit more. So truly, this is why you need to have a team of advisors. I can't stress that enough. Have a team of advisors if you do run a business, because it's our job to stay on top of things like this. So again, you can drop your email in the box below, and I will send you the information my clients are getting.